Welcome to this explainer. Now, I want you to imagine just for a moment the heavy, suffocating silence of a maximum security cell. You've got the cold concrete, the iron bars, and a rigid, inescapable schedule dictated by armed guards. The entire psychological weight of captivity is explicitly designed to break the human spirit, to make you feel a sense of absolute permanence. Yet throughout history, we've witnessed this undeniable, universal human drive for freedom that simply refuses to be extinguished. Today, we're launching a deep historical investigation into the anatomy of the impossible. We're going to analyze the sheer ingenuity, the agonizing life or death decisions, and the dramatic turning points of history's most audacious prison breaks. So, what actually drives a human being to risk absolutely everything for just a taste of freedom? Think about the sheer desperation required to face towering stone walls, freezing, treacherous waters, and the crosshairs of trigger-happy guards. To even attempt an escape is to accept the very real probability of death. And yet, time and time again, individuals have looked at that deadly gamble and chosen it over a life confined to a cage. Well, it really comes down to this core concept right here. Every system, no matter how perfect it appears, is built by human beings, and human beings always forget something. This is the fundamental vulnerability of literally any fortress. No prison is truly escape-proof if an inmate has enough patience and ingenuity. Every towering wall, every electrified fence, and every guard patrol routine was designed by a human. And humans, we make mistakes. We leave blind spots. We fall into predictable routines. It's in these microscopic cracks in the system that the seeds of legendary escapes are planted.
Part 1, Beneath the Surface. To truly grasp the unbelievable grit of a captive, we have to go underground, into the suffocating dampness of the earth. The year is 1864. It's the absolute height of the American Civil War. Captured Union officers are being held in Libby Prison in Richmond, Virginia, and beneath this prison is a pitch-black, vermin-infested cellar that was accurately named Rat Hell. Working in absolute secrecy, Colonel Thomas E. Rose and Major A.G. Hamilton led a desperate team. They spent weeks digging through the earth. They even had to invent makeshift contraptions just to pump oxygen into the shaft so they wouldn't suffocate. Inch by agonizing inch, 109 Union officers clawed out a 50-foot tunnel, reaching a nearby tobacco shed and slipping away into the dark streets of Richmond. Now, look at this staggering evolution. It brilliantly illustrates how the prison break has transformed. On one hand, you have the terrifying, hand-scooped tunnels of 1864, built with nothing but sheer desperation. On the other, a marvel of modern criminal engineering over 150 years later. The concept of going underground remains exactly the same, but the execution transforms from a frantic scramble in the dirt into a highly funded industrial operation. Let's look at 2015. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the notorious head of the Sinaloa cartel, vanished from the maximum security Altiplano prison in a matter of minutes. How? He slipped through a tiny 20 by 20 inch hole cut precisely into the blind spot of his shower. And beneath him, actually, it wasn't just a crawl space, it was a massive, mile-long underground pathway. This thing was fully equipped with PVC ventilation pipes, lighting systems, and, get this, a motorcycle mounted on rails to quickly extract dirt and transport him to freedom. This completely exposed the massive systemic flaws in modern security, proving that unlimited resources can completely undermine even the most heavily fortified institutions.
Part 2. Airborne ingenuity and audacity. So we're shifting our gaze upward now, away from the claustrophobic underground and looking at the sheer audacity of the skies. What's really interesting here is this intense, heavily fortified layout of Stalag Luft 3. This was a Luftwaffe-run camp in Silesia during World War II, designed specifically to hold thousands of Allied airmen. Beyond that maze of wire and the guard towers, the Germans considered this facility highly secure. They thought the elite physical and mental attributes of captured pilots would be safely contained here.
But the reality of their daily existence was incredibly grim. Despite the Germans supposedly following the Geneva Convention, the conditions were brutal. The men were perpetually hungry on inadequate rations. They lived in freezing, drafty barracks and operated under the constant, terrifying threat of trigger-happy guards and the Gestapo. And it was exactly this environment of deprivation and intense fear that fueled a desperate, overwhelming need to escape.
You know, that kind of immense pressure forces unprecedented innovation. Take Kolditz Castle, another supposedly escape-proof German camp perched high above a 150-foot cliff. Allied POWs identified a blind spot right on the chapel roof. And in a hidden attic, right under their captors' noses, they actually engineered a 240-pound, two-seater glider. They assembled the frame using stolen bed slats, floorboards, and wiring. They even engineered a pulley system using a metal bathtub filled with concrete to launch the aircraft. It's a mind-boggling feat of aeronautical engineering, born entirely out of captivity.
Fast forward to modern France, 3. This is the staggering number of times a man named Pascal Payet escaped from maximum security prisons. And he didn't dig, and he didn't build a glider. He escalated airborne escapes to a terrifying new level. He broke out via hijacked helicopter, 3 separate times. Just picture the cinematic tension of his first major escape. It's July 12, 2001, 11:30 in the morning. Out of nowhere, the deafening roar of rotor blades completely shatters the sky above Louvain's prison. Heavily armed men hover right over the recreation yard. Payet had spent years being the model prisoner, quiet, cooperative, all while meticulously observing the guard rotations, counting the seconds between patrols, and identifying the exact gap in the perimeter defense. His daylight escape proved that endless patience can turn an impenetrable fortress into a landing pad.
Part 3. The inescapable island.
So the crucial point here is that even the most notorious fortresses have a vulnerability, which brings us to the ultimate, chilling mystery, Alcatraz. In 1962, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers didn't have cartel millions or a hijacked helicopter. They had everyday materials meticulously repurposed into an arsenal of escape. They crafted lifelike papier-mâché dummy heads using real hairs swept from the barbershop floor. They stole and glued together 50 prison-issued raincoats to build a 14-by-6-foot homemade raft. They even modified a musical instrument, a concertina, to act as a bellows to inflate it. They literally weaponized the mundane to conquer the frigid, unforgiving currents of San Francisco Bay. Let's map out this timeline, because the night of June 11, 1962 was a masterclass in suspense. At 9:30 p.m., lights go out. The dummy heads are placed on the pillows, buying them hours of precious time. By 9:45 p.m., the men are squeezing through ventilation grills they had secretly widened for months. They navigate an unguarded utility corridor and climb a 50-foot shaft up to the roof. And by 10 p.m., slipping past the network of searchlights and gun towers, they reach a blind spot on the northeast shoreline, launch their raincoat raft, and vanish into the freezing fog. It's literally a life-or-death suspense thriller playing out in real time through the prison's hidden arteries. But tragically, not everyone makes it. There was a fourth man, Alan West. In his effort to hide his escape hole from the guards, West used cement to secure the grill. Well, on the night of the escape, that reinforced cement had hardened. It was a fatal, agonizing delay. By the time he finally broke through the wall and reached the roof, his accomplices were just gone, completely swallowed by the night. Left alone, frozen in terror at the side of the bay, West climbed back down into his cell. History literally left him behind.
Part 4. The flaw in the system. As we examine these incredible events, from the damp earth of the Civil War to the icy waters of Alcatraz, we have to remember they all share one fatal, unavoidable weakness: 38. In 1983, 38 provisional IRA prisoners violently seized control of H Block 7 at the Maze prison in Northern Ireland. Now, the Maze was considered one of the most escape-proof facilities in all of Europe, heavily fortified with 18-foot concrete walls and solid steel doors. Yet, inmates working as orderlies spent months identifying weaknesses. They smuggled in handguns, violently overpowered the guards, and hijacked a food delivery lorry. Whether it's 3 men on a raincoat raft or 38 paramilitaries staging the largest peacetime breakout in UK history, the technological defenses didn't fail. The human factor did. Human complacency, human routine, and human error are always the weakest links in the chain. We often look at these legendary escapes as closed chapters of history. But that human drive for freedom, it is relentless. And the inevitable errors present in every single system we build, they remain. So as you watch this explainer right now, I want you to think about this. How many other people in how many other prisons around the world are quietly watching the exact same sky? How many are counting the seconds between guard patrols, studying the same gaps in the wire, and patiently waiting for the human beings watching them to simply forget something? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning the systems around you, and never underestimate the sheer power of human ingenuity.